I want to do something sort of original today. I thought up this recipe based upon something that I saw in a magazine, which it looked good, but I thought, I can do better than that. I can go further than that. I can ramp that up a little bit. I'm going to call this chicken breasts saltimbocca, which might be a bit of a sacrilege because I think of saltimbocca really as being veal and prosciutto, but it seems to me that anything wrapped in prosciutto can be called saltimbocca. I mean, on my website I have a lamb chops saltimbocca. Those are wrapped in prosciutto. This is kind of a really simple, easy recipe, but it also is kind of fancy. So I think it would be good on a special occasion, but it would be easy to make. It looks like you spent hours in the kitchen, but you'll see. It doesn't take that long to make. I don't really have a recipe for this. This is kind of more organic. I'm going to be putting things together without doing a lot of measuring, and you'll see me doing that. So let's make this chicken breasts saltimbocca. First of all, I have some fresh thyme here that I bought yesterday. I'm going to pluck the leaves off. I'm not going to chop these up because they're small anyways, and I'm putting this on a piece of parchment paper so that it'll be easy to transfer to a bowl. As far as how much, it all depends on how much you want your chicken seasoned. I'm not going to use a whole lot. I only have 6 sprigs of fresh thyme here, because to me chicken is kind of mild flavored anyways, so I don't want to overdo it with the herbs. But if you like something with a really strong herbal flavor, go ahead and ramp it up with more herbs. That's why I say I don't really have a recipe for this, because it all depends on how much you want to use. I'm starting off with 6 sprigs, but you could double that if you want a lot more of a thyme flavor. Okay. Alright, I have most of that plucked clean. I'll put those in a little bowl. That's my thyme. Next, I have some sage leaves here. These are 5 pretty good sized sage leaves. I'm going to chop these up pretty fine. I want to mince these up. I think sage is a good flavor to go with chicken. Alright, that looks good for the sage right there. Put that in a bowl. There's my sage prepped. And finally what I'm going to use is some rosemary from my rosemary bush that I have outside. So I'm going to pick some of these needles off. And if you're looking for an alternate way of doing this, you can use scissors to cut these needles off. Alright, I'm just finishing now chopping up my rosemary fine. Put that in a bowl. And that's my herbs prepared. If you've seen my other videos, you might recognize this as my chicken board. That's because I'm working with chicken. These are chicken breasts, boneless and skinless. I filleted these off of whole chickens. These are very large. They're about 12 ounces each, 340 grams. One of these will easily feed 2 people. And to make things a little bit easier to clean up, I'm going to use my left hand for this. And then my right hand, let's see, I need a paper towel. I'm going to use my right hand for seasoning. So here's some salt. Each one of these I want to salt it lightly on both sides. Leave that the way it is. I'm going to use a paper towel so I don't get any chicken gunk on my pepper mill. Lightly pepper it. Okay, very lightly. And then just lightly season it with some herb. Not a lot. So there's my thyme going on there, some thyme. Some sage. And some rosemary. Flip it over, do the other side. So you see what I'm doing here. I'm going to do this to all 4 of these chicken breasts. I put a clean piece of parchment paper down. And what I have here is some thinly sliced prosciutto that I've let come up to room temperature so that hopefully it would peel more easily. And it is beautiful. Great. Going to put down a couple of slices here. Like so. I'll put those floppy edges there. I could even do 3, I suppose, with these chicken breasts, but I'm going to do just 2. These chicken breasts are so big. Let's see. I'm going to use my left hand again to move the chicken. I'm trying to keep one hand clean. And then I'm going to wrap the prosciutto around the chicken breast, enclosing those herbs. Okay. And then a piece of kitchen twine here. Gonna go over. Under. Make sure I've got that where I want it. Pull that kind of tight and then pull it over this way. Go underneath a few times to make a surgeon's knot. Fan of the website taught me that. Surgeon's knot. And then if I flip that over, there's my chicken breast. This, when I fry it, will adhere better. The prosciutto will adhere better. Right now I'm just kind of holding it together. I'll remove the string before I serve it, obviously. So I have my other 3 pieces to do, and then I'll be ready to start browning these. All right, there's my chicken, all ready to be browned. And my cutting board, I only had to give that a quick wipe to get rid of the coloring from the herbs. This is ready to put away. I've been heating a skillet on the stove here. I'm going to put in a few tablespoons of cooking olive oil. This is pure olive oil. I call it cooking olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is for flavoring in my mind, whereas this, because it's has a higher smoke temperature, I can fry in it. And then I'm going to put my chicken in there, and I'm going to do just a couple at a time. I don't want to crowd this pan. Okay, so there are my first pieces browned. I did this 5 minutes per side. I'm going to transfer these to a baking dish and then do my other 2 pieces. The heat here, by the way, I started at medium-high, but then I reduced the heat to medium. So here are my browned chicken breasts. I'm going to cover this with foil because I don't need browning in the oven, obviously. And I'm heating my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 177 degrees Celsius. I want to cook these to a safe internal temperature. I'm going to go to about 160, and then when I take them out to let them rest, the heat will continue to migrate toward the inside from the outside. These should come up to between 165 and 168, maybe 170 degrees. And that's a safe temperature at which to serve chicken. I'll tell you how long they baked in the oven. So here they are. I just took them out of the oven. Let's see if I can get this off. Yeah, that's not uncomfortable. And then whoosh, a lot of steam is going to come up. Yes. All right, let's see what I've got for temperature. These were in the oven for 40 minutes. And this is 166, 167 degrees. So these are really good as far as serving temperature. I'm going to let these sit for a few minutes, let them rest, and then I'll be ready to plate. So I have on a plate here some mixed vegetables that I really like. This is butternut squash. I took the string off of one of these. That was a truck going by. There's one of my chicken breasts, Saltimbocca. Last step is to see how good this tastes. So there it is. I cut a little slice for myself toward the center so I get some of the prosciutto and the herbs. Nice delicate flavor. Very fresh, very tender. Some of my squash. Oh, that's good. And my mixed vegetables. That's how I like to eat. So excuse me, I'm going to go enjoy my chicken breast Saltimbocca. For a printable PDF copy of this recipe with step-by-step photographs, visit my website, mobilehomegourmet.com, and look on the home page or in the recipe archive.